Hey guys, it's Julia here, and today I have this Toshiba laptop again, which is the Toshiba Satellite A105, and I actually tried to make a video on this back in, I think, October, but it completely went wrong because basically I installed Windows 2000 on here for a video. I was going to do like a Windows 2000 adventure type thing. However, everything just completely went downhill. So maybe I'll upload that at some point in the future of all the stuff that went wrong. But anywho, with this computer, I'm now trying to install the Windows XP OEM image, which I wanted to get on here. I did technically have it in a way, but long story about that. It had actually a virus on it, and I couldn't easily, reset it because there was no recovery partition. But luckily, I was able to find the recovery media, except I will say this, I tried to get it to boot with a couple methods, and I can't. Unfortunately, I do not have any blank DVDs, so like I can't burn it to actually boot it on the machine. I did try to do Plop Boot Manager because this does have, I did have a CD available, but not a DVD, and this will allow you to like boot USBs and stuff, which this computer cannot do USB booting. It's too old. I've tried. Even though there's a removable devices option in the boot menu, it just doesn't work. But if I select USB and I tell it to boot, it just freezes right here and it doesn't do anything. It just locks up. I've tried different USB ports. It'll just lock up in the same spot. It'll never boot. It's broken. So clearly, I'm not booting anything on this machine at all. And I actually wanted to get this video up today or tomorrow because as of recording, which I'll show you guys, it's actually April 8th of 2025 because, that's actually the day, April 8th, back in 2014 was when Windows XP died and when it lost support. So I wanted to make a video about Windows XP since, it's been 11 years since, Windows XP died. And even though this is going to be probably a couple days late, and technically, since it's late at night and it's about to be the 9th, it's probably going to say the install date's the 9th, but, so be it. Like, I struggled with this computer all day today to try to get it to do something, and let's just say, I don't like this computer very much. It gives me nothing but issues. So here's what I'm actually going to do. Since I can't get this working, I have an ISO of the recovery media. There's two, and on one of them, unfortunately, it doesn't boot because it detects it's not the right computer and it just refuses to boot. But there's another ISO where they actually made it to where it will, work on a VM. So my plan is to run through the recovery on a VM, make a macro image of said VM, restore it to the hard drive, and then boot it so that way I'll actually have the thing. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do this because this computer is very, very stubborn about USBs. So it's really the only way, unless I buy DVDs, but I don't have DVDs on hand, so this is going to be my only option. So anywho, without further ado, I'm going to head over to my computer and we're going to make a VM on there, and yeah. Okay, so I have this Windows XP VM which should automatically boot to CDs. So when I start it, hopefully it will. Yes, it does. Okay, Toshiba recovery tool. I don't know why it's so big, but we are going to boot this ISO. As I said, they modified it to actually work without detecting a Toshiba computer, which is good in my scenario. So here we have the Toshiba recovery wizard. So obviously we want to do recovery of factory default software, recover to out-of-box state. That's exactly what we want to do. So, let's, hit next. Like I said, select recovery method, recover to out-of-box state. Next. All partitions will be deleted. You'll lose all data on the hard drive. Well, it's a VM, I don't care. And I already tested this earlier, but I'm doing it again because obviously, now that I know that this works and it actually is the OEM, I'm going to proceed. So I had to test it first off camera to make sure. So now we're recovering. Obviously, this is going to be a very quick process, so I'll time-lapse it. Okay, recovery complete. Now once I hit finish, I need to shut this down quickly. Hopefully I didn't break it. At this moment, I need to do a couple changes. So for one, well, I have our ISO, but I need to add another hard disk. So let's not do IDE. Let's actually do SATA. Create a new disk. Let's just do 64 to be safe. Store as a single file. Next. Finish. Okay. 64 gig file. There we go. 64 gig. Now I'll need to do the phase of putting our Windows PE here. So as you guys can see, we got to initialize the disk. I'm gonna do GPT in this scenario, and then I'm just going to make a new volume and just go through this really quickly. Doesn't matter what we do, I just want to be able to have something to write to. So at this point, we want to create a backup, and we're going to hit image this disk. As you guys can see, we're going to image our disk to our new volume. Okay, and we're just going to call it Toshiba A105, because that's what it basically is. And we're just making an image out of this. That's all we're doing. So next, finish. And we're starting. So now it's actually saving our partition. And once we do this, all we have to do is move it to a drive, which I'm actually just gonna pass through the drive that's, currently from the machine and just transfer it to it. And then afterwards, I'm going to apply it to that drive. So honestly, this actually isn't too bad. We're actually doing a pretty good job. As you can see, it took only 33 seconds, which isn't bad. We got pretty good IO as well. So now we're gonna pass through our drive. So let me plug this in really quickly. All right, perfect. Connect to the virtual machine, Windows XP. We're going to pass it through. Was unable to connect, an attempt was made. Excuse me? What do you mean? Does this drive even get detected by my computer? As a BD-ROM, what is going on with my computer? It keeps seeing every drive as a freaking DVD drive here. Well, BDRE still, it's treating it as a freaking Blu-ray drive for some reason, but we know clearly it's not. It's just something is freaking bugged at the moment with my computer, and it's doing this. You know what? That doesn't matter. I have a better solution. You see this right here? Let's just yoink that off of here. Yeah, that was a much better solution. I don't know why I was trying to do that when I can just yoink it. Well, guys, that was a lot easier than I thought. We got our image. Perfect. Alright, guys, I'm back. I got Macron, and this is our hard drive. I don't know why it's calling it a BD drive. I think my computer is just freaking cursed right now, but that's besides the point. So you guys can see we have this. So we're gonna obviously restore this. We're gonna select a disk to restore to, and obviously make sure you select the right disk, which I believe is, we gotta make sure I do the right one, which I believe is F, yeah. F is our correct disk. And we know that because it says this. So we'll just copy partitions, make our extend to fit. There we go. And it's disk 4 Sabrent, so we know it's the correct one. And if I open a file explorer, it's right there. I ejected my storage drive just to be safe and make sure that I don't accidentally, do something wrong, because I'm always very cautious when I do this kind of stuff. So we're gonna restore this to this. Next, it tells us what it's gonna do, and we're just gonna simply restore it, which is all we need to do. So finish. Obviously, it's going to erase F. That is perfectly fine by me. Oh. I needed to check that box. Okay. So, I open this again. It disappeared. That's normal, because it's actually, restoring the data right now. So, we just gotta wait for this, and Our name should say this. If it says BD again, then something is just really screwed up with my computer, guys. Just ignore it. It's a long story as how things are like this, but anyways, let's just wait for this. Okay, guys, it's gonna show up as a BD again. Oh, nope, it changed itself. Okay, good, it changed itself. It showed up for a second, but then it changed itself. So here is our contents, which is a lot different than what we normally expect. In fact, it's a sysprep folder. Ooh, that's actually really interesting. Alright, we're done. We restored in 3 minutes. We're done. We have 2 of them for some reason. Okay. Now that we're done with Macrum, I can take this drive out of my computer and put it in the laptop so we can just eject it, get it out of here. Yeah, get out of here. And in the laptop it goes again. Back with the laptop again. So, here's the question. Will this actually boot properly? Which I want to try to get the other drive out of here. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. This should now boot. Cross our fingers. Yes! We're so back. And it's still the 8th. So, this could take some time though. It looks like we have drivers even. Oh yes, we are so back. That was actually a really good idea. So, hopefully this won't throw up an activation error. It did in my VM when I was doing this. It was like, you must activate now. Oh, it didn't. Okay, cool. Probably because it's meant for this laptop, so it just didn't. But we have a Kathy over here. I don't care that you've not checked for updates more than 7 days. Get the hell out of here. Ooh, what's it doing? Alright, applying final configuration. Please wait. This may take several minutes. System will reboot upon completion. So it looks like we're actually getting somewhere with this. Like I said, it was the same media, just they did a bypass to make it work on other machines, but I guess because this technically is the proper machine, we don't get the activation message. So, I had to use that in order to even get this to work in the first place, because this computer is very stubborn about booting things. It doesn't like to boot things. Even when I first was trying to boot Plop the first time, it didn't even want to boot that either. And even once I got that booting, it was just completely useless, so... Oh well, maybe I'll need that CD sometime in the future, I don't freaking know, man. So, we're applying our configuration. It'll take several minutes, so let's just wait several minutes. Hold on, let's see if it's actually doing anything. Well, let's just, let it do its thing. At least, this does actually look like the OEM that was on here, so... yeah, at least I got that again. Windows, I don't care that there's unused icons. I just installed this. Of course there's going to be unused icons. Fun fact, the hard drive in here actually came out of another A105 I had, except that A105 had a broken screen on it, and I took the drive from that and put it in this one. It's actually the same size that it came with. It was like 60 gigs or something. So, same drive configuration, and it was also an A105, slightly different like model number after that, but I ended up getting rid of that machine and kept this one, and then just moved the drive over, because this actually had another drive in it, which wasn't even meant for this Toshiba system, because it kept trying to boot saying, oh, this isn't meant for this, and it kept trying to go into like some Toshiba recovery thing, and I'm like, wait a sec, this doesn't belong to this machine. And I put it in another one that I think belongs to it, which I've been trying to do a data recovery on it to try to get the OEM recovery partition of it. And it's been going for a week now, so who knows when that video is gonna go up, which, if you guys want a sneak peek, there you guys have it. Oh, it's rebooting. Okay. We'll see what it does. just want to say though, Windows XP was my childhood. I grew up using Windows XP. Oh yeah, please wait while Windows prepares to start. Yeah, that's awesome. I grew up using XP, and I'm gonna start working on some Windows XP computers because I do have a couple of those I need to work on, and this was one of them, which I decided I'm not even gonna bother with Windows 2000 on this one. I forgot which one I said I was gonna do 2000 on, but I know I have it noted down somewhere, but I'm gonna use a different computer for that actually has proper drivers, because this just does not have any, and I wasted so much time trying to get things to work for things to just fail, and I still have all the recordings, and it probably totals to like 4 hours of recordings probably or more. Like, it's just ridiculous at how much recordings I have of that, which pretty sure I do still have actually. So we'll also hear the Windows XP music. My VM I know did the Windows XP music. Hopefully this will too. I mean, it should have drivers for the audio. I don't see why it wouldn't, so I'm certain it's gonna work. I don't even know if there was a shutdown sound earlier. I wasn't even paying attention, to be honest. Okay, here we go. There's no audio. Aw. Wonder if it's just muted. Or, oh, I hear it. It's just very quiet. Let's see if I can turn it up. Unfortunately, I can't turn the audio up because there is no way to turn the audio up. I cannot find the buttons on it, so we're gonna have to live without the music because I cannot hear it. So yes, I do agree. It's like it's on 1% or something. I will actually, for once, help protect with automatic updates, even though I know automatic updates on Windows XP doesn't even work anymore, or mostly doesn't work anymore. Okay, so computer name, it says Toshiba user, but I want to put the asset tag. I like when they used to ask for a description, although I'm not gonna do a description. So we're actually putting a computer name, and I don't know how many people actually like put in computer names. I can hear that hard drive going. Let's skip the internet. We'll come back to that. No, I'm not registering with Microsoft. Gotta love those good times. Who will use the computer? Let's put my name in there. I did spell it correctly. You can't push enter. I'm used to pushing enter, but it's not working. Oh, thank you to Microsoft. So, obviously you'll have to run through Windows updates and all kinds of things on this computer. It's gonna be a hassle to get all them freaking updates. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all that in this video or not, to be honest with you, because I don't know. I kind of wanted to do like an OEM recovery on this computer. I'm trying to keep it like not a super long video or anything, and I know it was pretty simple to do, but we'll go through some of the applications on here, and I might show a little bit of how to get it updating, but I'm not gonna like show the whole process probably. Okay. Welcome. Very quiet sound, because the sound's on like 1%. And there we have it, guys, the official OEM image on this computer in all its glory. And of course we have McAfee already bugging us, which I don't want, but whatever. If we look at the date, which unfortunately it says it's the next day because the time got set forward for some reason. That's a bummer. It's gonna have the wrong date, but oh well. It is what it is. It changed our date even though it's completely wrong. Well, the date's right, but the time is wrong. It's an hour earlier. Windows XP on the internet, everybody. This is on the internet right now, which is not very secure, but you know, so be it. We're gonna try to sync our time because I did set the time zone correctly. I want to see if this still works. I doubt it, but I am online, so we'll see what happens. And it looks like it did actually, so we do have the right time and date after all. And it is still the 8th. As I said, the time was just on the wrong time zone. So, this is literally Windows XP, right? But it's actually installed 11 years after it ended support. That's just freaking crazy. There's no calendar. I thought they'd be a calendar, but we just get this pop-up. Just, actually, no, it does exist, kind of. We get this, but yeah. There we have it, everybody. Leave a comment, have you guys used Windows XP before? Because honestly, Windows XP, I grew up using this. Ugh, let's go through this stupid BS. I don't want it. No. Click yes. No. I'm actually gonna uninstall that. Okay, I don't even want to accept this, but you know, whatever. Submit. I'm not giving them my info. Get out. Decline. Get out. Thank you. I don't want this bull. Okay, why? Oh my god, this is so old. Get out. Okay, so guys, if you want to update older Windows, and I think I've showed this on a video before, you want to go to legacyupdate.net, which last time I actually tried this on Vista, it didn't work. Yep, here we go. So this is Legacy Update, which I really find Legacy Update useful because you're able to actually, you know, install Windows updates on older builds. So we're gonna install Legacy Update. This is Windows XP. You need to follow these workarounds to use Legacy Update, whatever. Don't know what they are. Oh, thanks. It just crashed. I'm just gonna try and install it. It's fine. Legacy Update. Let's do this again. Please don't crash. I'm just gonna install it. This is IE6, by the way. Oh yeah, we should probably show our specs here. Windows XP SP2, of course. We have a Celeron N and basically a gig of RAM. So that's all this computer has. Maybe I can upgrade the RAM, because I do have a lot of RAM laying around, so I might be able to actually upgrade this. I actually have a lot of DDR2. I think I ran it, but I don't see anything. So I have no idea if this is working or not. I ran it again. Probably not the best idea, but it hasn't came up, so I'm kind of just trying to do things to get this to work. Maybe I do need to do the workarounds. I might try and do this off camera, to be honest, because I'm a little rusty with Windows XP a bit, because I don't use Windows XP often anymore. I know back in the day I used it all the time, but nowadays I'm used to using like more modern operating systems. So I don't know why this isn't working. Maybe I do need to do the workarounds. Except anytime I clicked this right here, it would crash. Okay, it didn't crash that time. Nothing happens when I run. This is an issue with Windows XP. By digital signature, the latest. This makes Legacy Update not run. Get on. You need to unblock the file. Okay, let me go to the properties, click unblock. Okay. So, thank you for telling me that. I didn't know that. That would make a lot of sense because it wasn't launching. Can I run it now? Yes, I can. Okay. Why is this unchecked, I wonder? I don't care if they advise against it. I'm going to do that too. Install. So we're doing SP3 first, I guess. So here we're actually going to be doing some updates. So we're downloading SP3 and it's going to install SP3. It's probably going to run through all the Windows updates at this point now. which while we wait for this, let's actually look at what's installed on here. So if I show you guys the list, I might come back and like show this again more too, but AOL, DVD driver, games, that's the defaults, Intervideo Win DVD, McAfee, Microsoft Office 2003, Microsoft Works. I don't know why they have both. Quicken, I remember that. I forgot what it was, but I do remember seeing that back in the day a lot. QuickTime, Real Player. I used to use that actually, like back in the XP days. Ethernet driver, Sonic, Record Now, whatever that is. I don't know what's in the startup folder, but okay. Toshiba applications. So we got some Toshiba stuff on here. Pretty neat. More stuff. Adobe Reader 7, Internet Explorer 6, PowerPoint Viewer, Microsoft Works again, MSN, Outlook Express, Recovery Disk Creator for Express Media Player, Remote Assistance, Windows Media Player, all the classics, Windows Messenger, we all remember this, and Windows Movie Maker. I had so much fun with this. Yahoo Music Engine, what in the world is that? ArcSoft software, a ton of stuff, photo software looks like, and then that's just another, probably something to do with the internet again, because I think that's one of the adapters. I've heard of that brand. Anywho, we are going to wait for this, so this might take a bit of time, so I'll probably just like get off camera for now, maybe take some pictures, do some voiceovers, record some quick clips, and yeah. Well guys, it's installing Service Pack 3 it looks like now. So it took forever to download. It's 1 in the morning, I should be sleeping, and it's finally installing this. I might just leave this running honestly, but at least it's working. So it looks like it might have finished doing SP3, and now it says it's downloading the Windows Update agent, so that's good. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I have a lot more energy now. I don't know what in the world it's saying. I kind of just left it and forgot about it, but McAfee is obviously complaining again, and it's obviously not even going to be able to check for updates because it's, you know, so old. Now what is this? The Windows Update agent may be out of date. Windows Update agent was not able to make a secure connection. Uh-oh, okay. Let's try to go back to here and check again. It should have, I swear last time it said it was updating the agent last I saw it, so it should have updated it. There shouldn't be a problem, although this, you know, maybe it is out of date. We'll find out, I guess. We don't want to be out of date. That's not good. We will see if this works, but I am gonna wrap up the video soon, since I want to try to upload this today so you guys have new content to watch. And honestly, I set things up faster when I do it off camera, so that's just one thing about me. If I'm doing it off camera, I can do it better. Oh, of course, it's talking about the Windows Update agent again. You know, let's just reboot it at this point. Like, this is freaking ridiculous. We are checking for updates again, and I hope it doesn't complain about the Windows Update agent again. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that now and figure out why that's not working. I did reboot, so maybe I just needed to reboot for it to like work. Maybe it had to restart in order to do that. However, I honestly don't think it would need to do that, so it's probably gonna do the same thing again if I had to guess. So I'm gonna probably have to figure this out. Gotta love Windows XP, guys, and its error messages. Am I right? Okay, guys, so of course I am getting the same error about the Windows Update agent, which, by the way, McAfee's complaining about being out of date. I don't care about that. I care more about Windows updates than McAfee right now. That can get out of here. But anyways, this is still happening, and I looked up the error over here, and it's saying the connection with the service has been terminated. Note, there's common Windows Update agent is out of date, but it says to refer to the Legacy Update homepage for solutions, which I go to the Legacy Update homepage, but I can't seem to find anything. I'm thinking maybe I need to try to manually download the Windows Update agent. Maybe that'll work, even though I did see it doing that earlier and you guys saw in the video. Maybe it failed to install. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just not installing. You know, sometimes updates can just not install. That happens occasionally with things, but I have been fighting this laptop for a while, and I was trying to get a web browser on it at least too, like a better, decent web browser, which is Supermium. But however, I kind of was messing up and installing the 64-bit version, but I ended up installing the 32-bit version. But I don't think that's going to help because you have to use IE for Legacy Update anyway, and that's not the problem. But I will say this, I actually had to take the drive out because the USBs are not being recognized on this computer again, and that was a common issue I had. When I had Windows 2000 on it, USBs just wouldn't work, and the same thing's happening on XP, so I wonder if the USBs are just dead? I don't know. It's like really strange. They just don't work on this machine at all. But at this point, I'm just going to stop the video here. I mean, I did get XP. It does have Service Pack 3 installed, so at least we do have, you know, we do have at least a little up to date, but not as up to date as I had hoped. But I plan to come back to this computer at some point, figure out the issue with Legacy Update, and get it working. Like I said, I think I just need to install the agent on here, and I'll probably be okay. So this is like a Celeron N with a gig of RAM. I might actually upgrade the RAM as well. But yeah, this laptop right here is just giving me a ton of issues. I don't really like working with this laptop due to how many problems it gives me, and I just wanted to make this video showing you guys, you know, getting the OEM image back on it, because Windows 2000 doesn't belong on here at all in the slightest, and without drivers, it's just not gonna work. But if you do want to see that video of me failing completely at Windows 2000, please leave a comment below. But I am gonna stop the video here. Plus, I don't want to make it, you know, an hour. So I think it's a good stopping point, especially with the fact of I have better things to do than deal with Windows updates failing right now. So, anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It was quite a roller coaster to try to get this to work properly, and even though I'm not fully done, I'm at least a stopping point for the time being, because I also have other computers I need to work on. I will work on that Toshiba video. I know some of my Envy members have voted on that poll. I'm still working on that Toshiba, so that video might get a little delayed, but it will go up before the other one. So yeah, it's just taken forever to do some data recovery, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and while I'm at it, I'd like to thank my channel members, which are Dalen Veet, The Full Moon, Christian1739, Dude Prinny, Overgreen, StrawTech8, Zyvlogs, DJ1I28, Dencorn, Cyclone, Krisk, Ritu, and everyone else here on this list. I really appreciate your guys' support for helping me with this channel, and you guys will have another video coming up. But I will say that, you know, I do enjoy making videos. Just sometimes when these computers give me problems, you know, it delays me. And like when I have to wait a week for data recovery, and then dealing with issues with updates, and then dealing with this and that, it's just too much. Like, you know, the pain. It's just how technology is sometimes. It doesn't always, you know, play nice, and you gotta fight it. So yeah, maybe I'll make a future video on this, although I don't really see the need of making another video on this computer. I mean, I do have that 2000 one, but you guys just leave your opinions. I probably won't, but I might give you guys an update when I do work on it. Maybe social media, maybe in the description, maybe as a pinned comment. I might leave an update about it, but maybe I'll work on it later today off camera. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and crazy how Windows XP died 11 years ago. That's just insane. It's just, wow. You know, Windows XP is still somewhat usable, but let me know what I should do with this laptop as well. It is, you know, lower end. I don't know if I'll keep this laptop forever, because I do need to, like, kind of clean out my collection. I have too much. Anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop the video here. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye for now.